Imagine walking into a barber shop, expecting nothing more than a haircut, only to be turned away. Not because of your style or attitude, but for reasons that cut much deeper. That's exactly what happened to one man. And instead of letting rejection define him, he decided to rewrite the narrative. A week later, he opened his own salon, a place where everyone would feel welcome. What started as a personal mission to prove himself soon grew into something much bigger, a thriving business that became one of the top salon chains in the region. But how did he go from being denied entry to becoming a game changer in the beauty industry? And what inspired him to rise above the herd and turn it into something extraordinary? This is a story of resilience, vision, and the power of turning challenges into triumphs. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. The man, let's call him Marcus, had always believed in treating people with respect. He worked hard, supported his community, and prided himself on his appearance. That day, as he stood at the barbershop door, the rejection stung in a way he didn't expect. He was told it wasn't a good fit, but the real message felt clear. He wasn't welcome. Marcus didn't make a scene. Instead, he walked away, replaying the moment in his mind. Later that night, sitting in his small apartment, he thought about how many others might have felt the same exclusion, the same quiet sting of being pushed aside. The idea began as a flicker. What if he could create something different? A place where everyone, regardless of background or status, could walk in and feel valued. But the road ahead wasn't clear, and Marcus had no idea what it would take to get there. Marcus couldn't shake the feeling of rejection. It wasn't just about the haircut, it was about dignity. He started talking to friends, family, and even strangers about their experiences. To his surprise, many shared similar stories of being judged or excluded, not just at barbershops, but in other places they thought would welcome them. It was a pattern he couldn't ignore, and it sparked something deep inside him. But where would he even start? Marcus didn't have much savings, and the thought of opening a salon felt overwhelming. Still, the idea wouldn't let go. He began researching late at night, scrolling through tutorials, and sketching out a vision for what his dream space might look like. Yet doubt crept in. Who would support him? Was he ready to take such a huge risk? The obstacles seemed endless, but Marcus knew one thing: he couldn't let fear win. Determined to move forward, Marcus scraped together what little savings he had and worked overtime at his regular job to gather more funds. Every dollar counted. He found a tiny storefront in his neighborhood that had been vacant for months. It wasn't perfect, peeling paint, broken fixtures, but Marcus saw potential. He spent nights fixing it up, sometimes working until the early hours with nothing but a dream keeping him going. Word started to spread about his plans. Some people were excited, cheering him on. Others doubted him, saying he didn't have enough experience or resources to pull it off. Marcus couldn't let the whispers shake him. He stayed focused, piecing together equipment, decorating the space, and even learning the business side of things on the fly. But as the opening day approached, the pressure mounted. Would people actually show up? Would all his hard work pay off, or would he fail? The morning of the grand opening, Marcus woke up to a text that nearly stopped him in his tracks. A friend forwarded a message circulating on social media. A competitor, the same barbershop that had turned him away, was offering steep discounts and advertising a special event on the very same day. It felt deliberate, almost like they were trying to overshadow his moment. For a brief second, doubt crept back in. What if no one came? What if this was a mistake? But Marcus reminded himself why he started. This wasn't about competing. It was about creating something meaningful. He took a deep breath and headed to the salon. As he unlocked the door, his hands trembling, a small group of people was already waiting outside. Their smiles and supportive words gave him a boost. Just as things seemed to be turning around, a problem inside the salon threatened to derail everything. As Marcus stepped inside the salon, he noticed something was off. The power was out, and the room was eerily silent except for the nervous chatter of the customers waiting outside. He quickly realized a fuse had blown, leaving the salon in darkness just minutes before opening. Panic set in. He had worked so hard, and now on the most important day, everything seemed to be falling apart. But instead of giving up, Marcus improvised. He borrowed extension cords from a nearby shop and rerouted power to the essential equipment. Neighbors pitched in, helping him move chairs and set up mirrors in better lighting. By the time the doors officially opened, the salon was buzzing with energy. Customers were laughing, chatting, and admiring the welcoming space Marcus had created. Just as the day was winding down, Marcus noticed someone familiar in the doorway, the owner of the barbershop that had turned him away. Instead of confrontation, they smiled, offering a quiet nod of respect. Marcus realized his journey wasn't just about proving others wrong. It was about believing in himself and creating change for everyone. As the salon's first day came to a close, Marcus sat in the quiet space, surrounded by the hum of conversations still lingering in the air. It hadn't been perfect, but it was real, and it was his. Customers had left with smiles, and many promised to return, bringing friends and family along. For Marcus, it wasn't just about the haircuts. It was about creating a place where everyone felt seen and valued. The journey hadn't been easy, and the challenges weren't over. But in that moment, Marcus felt something he hadn't in a long time: pride. His small dream had turned into a symbol of resilience and inclusion, inspiring others to believe in their own potential. Looking out the window at the dimming sky, Marcus smiled. This wasn't the end of this story. It was only the beginning.